Hello and welcome back to the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds. My name is Ryan Rastall, PJ professional here and equipment expert for Golfshake.com. For those of you that have already done so, thank you for subscribing to this channel. We aim to bring you loads of content about all the latest equipment, and we're also travelling to loads of different destinations all the time as well to show you some of the most fantastic golf courses that we get to visit here at Golfshake. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button right now. You'll see all the latest stuff from us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. As you've seen with the title of this video, we have got a very different set of irons to take a look at. So the PTx Tour iron from Ben Hogan. So those of you that don't know who Ben Hogan is, what Ben Hogan are, we'll tell you. They started in 1953. Obviously Ben Hogan, the great man himself, started this equipment company and really with a vision to making high quality golf clubs for serious golfers really. And it kind of hasn't wavered throughout its history. It's gone through various different hands and lots of different kind of iterations and rebirths. But Ben Hogan is out again and has product that is, I shouldn't like this because it's going direct to consumer and it goes against everything as a golf retailer that I like. But, you know, I do realise there are lots of direct to consumer brands out there that do very, very well and make some fantastic products. So I'm not knocking them at all. But Ben Hogan have been kind enough to send us some product. It's nicely specced up as well for me. So I'm going to hit some today. I'm going to let you into a secret. I've already hit them quite a lot. I took them up to Dundonald Links last week. I played at Turnberry with them as well. So you'll see a few shots that I've taken up there too. We're going to talk a little bit about the tech, but first I thought because they're so beautiful, I'd show you some pictures of these golf clubs. I think you'll agree they look absolutely stunning. So let's get into a bit of the tech. So there's a bit of a story throughout this model and this set of irons really with 4 different kind of design characteristics with some of the irons. So in the longer irons, there's a 4-piece construction here in the 4 and 5. So it's a foam filled head, slightly hollow body in there, has a tungsten weight in there too. Everything is optimized to help with the launch characteristics of this iron and particularly helping on the miss hits. The 1025 carbon steel delivers the best feel as well. So these irons are going to feel amazing, even as good as they look, which you know is quite difficult to do, to be honest. The 6 iron has a 3-piece construction, and then we sort of change then from the 7 and 8 iron into again a 3-piece construction, but slightly different in terms of the weighting to help make the trajectories and the feel kind of consistent throughout the set as well. So that 1025 forged carbon steel still goes through in the bodies and the faces, and basically the co-forged titanium insert enhances the forgiveness as well as moving the weight higher to stop those irons kind of ballooning on you, because some of these sets, particularly when you get into the more bladed sort of clubs, if they've got mass sort of lower down in the head, the ball goes up in the air and we don't really get that sort of penetrating flight and trajectory that we're looking for. But these irons don't have that, so there's weight higher up the club head there to really maintain that nice trajectory that we want, even on those higher lofted irons. And in the 9 and the wedge, it's a 1-piece pure construction, that straight blade look that we see in the head there. And really there's a beautiful blend throughout the set. So I'll show you now a bit of a graphic that goes all the way from 4 iron to pitch and wedge, so you can have a bit of a look at that. But I certainly think these are some of the nicest irons that I've seen in a while. One of the key kind of features as well is the V-sole technology that these irons have. So if we take a little bit of a look, you can just see this kind of V shape in the sole. So kind of the leading edge to back edge. And this is to help with turf interaction, okay? We've seen similar technology in some of the Strixon irons that we've tested before, and you can check out those videos on the channel as well. So that higher bounce leading edge and soft lower bounce trailing edge mean that it'll go through the longest of rough, all the way through the turf, even the densest type of turf, and kind of cut through it quite nicely and really help you with the ball striking really and getting the optimal performance no matter where you are on the golf course. So like I say, this is a direct to consumer brand. So it does offer some custom fitting as well. So you can go on the website, you can kind of customize your set and have a look at it. It'll even let you try the product for a period of time to make sure you absolutely love it. So there is kind of that service element there that Ben Hogan are offering as well. If you know what spec you're going to need and know what maybe what you've used in the past and kind of which golf clubs are going to suit you, you can kind of fit yourself for a set of these through the website and try them and make sure that you absolutely love them. Which I think is something that not a lot of companies offer, and it's a really good feature, I think, of kind of the direct-to-consumer market, that they're able to do that kind of thing as well. So I'm gonna hit some shots in the Performance Center now. We'll talk about those numbers at the end of the video, but for now I'm gonna pass over to when I was at Dundonald Links earlier this week and actually took these irons for a spin out on the golf course. So as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I actually have tested these irons already out here at Dundonald Links. So the PTx Tour, we know how good they look. They are exceptional. We've hit them obviously inside on the Trackman, which we'll talk about the numbers in a bit. But I thought it'd be good to test them out on the golf course, and certainly in an environment like this where we're going to get some fairly firm fairways. We're going to see exactly how this sole interacts with the turf out here and really give you a good view on how these irons perform in a variety of different conditions, to be honest. So come on, let's play some holes, let's see how they go, and hopefully they're going to be just as good as what we saw when we hit them inside. So I've played quite a lot with these irons now, and I'm just so impressed. I mean, not only do they look amazing, we've spoken about that. I mean, these are possibly some of the nicest looking irons out there. The whole Ben Hogan name, really, for those of you that have played golf for a long time and remember when Ben Hogan irons, it was the Apex iron generally that was out a long time ago, were phenomenal, really. I was quite jealous of people that had them at the time. So to see them again and almost keep that amazing styling that they've got, I think is very, very good. And you know, as you've probably gathered from what I've been saying during this video, I absolutely love these, and I've put them straight in my bag. So they came in my spec, so I've got them with Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100, 1/2 inch longer, standard lie and standard loft. And literally from the day I had them, I switched my old irons out, which have taken a lot of getting out the bag. They were Nike Vapor Pro Blade, which I might go back to someday, you never know. I'd never get rid of them because I absolutely love them. But these have gone straight in. They just give me that little bit more forgiveness. They look great behind the ball. They look pretty similar, to be honest, but there's a little bit more forgiveness in there than the Nike ones that I've been using. And certainly I've played 3 tournament rounds now with these and probably hit more greens than I have done in a while. Maybe I've just been playing better, I don't know, but the irons certainly fill me with confidence when I'm stood over them. And as you can see by some of the shots we've hit today, the performance is very, very good too. I think one of the first things you see when you look down on these irons is just how beautiful they look in the playing position, as well as obviously sat in the bag like that. I think that kind of pure muscle backy kind of look to them is absolutely fantastic. And then you get to hit them and the feel just matches up with all of that really, really well. Feels so good off the face. Really, really nice and soft. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to hit a few with wedge, 8, 6 and 4, so kind of half of the set, and then we'll talk a little bit about the numbers. This is the 8, I've already hit the wedge. Yeah, still getting that amazing feel all the way through the set. The looks are just beautiful, probably one of the nicest irons I've seen in the playing position for a long time, and certainly one that doesn't look really strong. It looks quite traditional in its loft as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit too, but I just think the shape of them is absolutely lovely. Definite difference in the feel when you get into the mid and longer irons because of that difference in the construction, but it still just feels so good. Absolutely lovely. That was a little bit at the bottom and it's still come out like a bullet. Really, really nice shot. Right, so we've got the 4 iron now. So we've obviously got this 4-piece construction in here as well, with tungsten, with that kind of foam in there as well, that's going to help with the sound and the feel, the perimeter weighting story, but it still looks like a good player's iron when you sit it behind the ball, which I absolutely love. Let's give it a hit. Yeah, still feels really nice off the face. Pretty nice shot too. A couple more and we'll have a bit of a look at the results. Wow, that felt good. So let's take a little bit of a look at the results here. Okay, so you've seen I've tried them out on the golf course a lot. I've hit them in here quite a bit, and I don't know if that comes across in the video, but I absolutely love these golf clubs. So let's take a look at the results. So we'll start with pitching wedge. So for me, pitching wedge is around a 135-ish golf club. We can see here I've picked up a few yards, so 139-ish in terms of the carry. Feels great off the face. Height's really good. We can see 8 iron, 166 is about what I'd expect. Mid 160s really for an 8 iron. 200 yards with the 6 and 232 with 4 iron, which is longer than I'd normally hit 4 iron. And it just feels like it comes off like a rocket, and certainly I've always found with longer irons that they kind of get that balloony sort of flight on them, and from what we saw earlier with the tech and that kind of 4-piece construction in the longer irons, whereas most companies are trying to make them go higher and spin more in those irons, what I found in these, it actually brings the flight down a little bit, which I absolutely love, and the kind of distances I'm being able to hit are as a result of controlling the spin a little bit better, bringing that ball flight down. You can see the height 87 feet, so it's still high enough, it's nearly 90 feet in the air, but we're getting that little bit more carry distance on there as well. So personally, when I've tried these out on the golf course, I'm certainly seeing that too. They are carrying further than I'd normally get them, and even though that so that carry to total is about 15 yards there in the 4 iron, I'm not seeing that on the golf course. They're stopping quite quickly when I'm out there and playing, and certainly I'm seeing them stop a little bit faster than that. But looking at the way these irons perform on the Trackman, it's kind of backing up what I'm seeing on the course. You can see that the numbers there stack up against kind of anything that I've tried, and even some of the stuff that, you know, isn't forged and is kind of designed to go a long way. You know, these irons aren't particularly strong in loft, so the 4 is at 21 degrees, which is kind of your standard 3 iron loft, so it's not ridiculous. And the 7 iron is kind of only about a degree stronger than what I've been using for ages anyway, and I'm getting that bit of a distance increase. I'm also seeing just so much more forgiveness, which forgiveness is a great thing to have regardless of the level of golfer that you are. Even, you know, a PGA professional such as myself, I am not, you know, an unbelievable ball striker. I hit it pretty good, as you would expect for a PGA pro, but I miss it. I miss the middle of the face all the time. So I do need that help, and I do need golf clubs that are going to help me to play better. And certainly these tick a lot of boxes. So they are in my golf bag right now. I'm going to play hopefully a lot more tournaments with them and give you an update later down the line as to kind of if they're still in there, if they're still performing really well. But I think they'll be in there for a while. So hopefully you've enjoyed that video. I've loved testing them. It was great to get up to Scotland, play Turnberry and Dundonald with these irons, as well as, like I say, a few PGA events as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Please drop some comments in below. Have you tried these? Have you hit them? Were you surprised at the price? That's something I haven't even spoken about. So these sets are around £800 for a 4-to pitching wedge set, which is considerably cheaper than some of the others out there on the market. But yeah, let us know, are these an iron that you've got, that you've tried, that you really want to hit? Those of you that remember Ben Hogan from years ago, from when sort of Callaway had the product and was, and they still use the Apex name, obviously, which was from Ben Hogan initially. You know, do you still have sets of those from years ago? I'd love to hear from you that do. So yeah, I mean, they were always a bit of an aspirational set as I was growing up, and I wasn't quite good enough to use them at the time. But yeah, they are certainly a set now I'm more than happy to have in my bag. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and we'll see you all very soon.